Your Thanksgiving turkey didn't just appear on your plate. It survived a global journey of precision and risk. From fragile poults in climate-controlled trucks to frozen birds crossing oceans at -18 degrees Celsius 0 degrees Fahrenheit, every step is a race against time. One mistake, overheating, delays, or contamination, can ruin entire shipments. So how does this process work? And why is turkey transport one of the most complex operations in the food industry? Hatching is a race against time. In massive incubators, millions of turkey eggs crack open at once. Within hours, the air fills with the peeping of newborn poults, tiny, fragile, and entirely dependent on human care. But there's no time to waste. Poults must reach farms within 24 hours, or survival rates plummet. The journey starts now, moving thousands, sometimes tens of thousands, of newborn turkeys at once is a logistical dance of speed and precision. Poults are incredibly fragile, unable to regulate their body temperature efficiently, and easily stressed by environmental changes. They aren't like baby mammals that rely on milk for sustenance. Instead, they depend on the nutrients stored within their yolk sacs, which sustain them for about a day after hatching. This biological advantage gives farmers a limited but crucial window to transport them to their new homes without needing food or water en route. To keep them safe, poults are carefully placed into ventilated transport crates, designed with soft, rounded interiors to prevent injuries. These crates are then stacked inside specialized poultry transport trucks equipped with advanced climate control systems. Inside the truck, survival depends on precision. Poults are so fragile that just a few degrees off can mean disaster. Below 32 degrees Fahrenheit 0 degrees Celsius, they freeze. Above 95 degrees Fahrenheit 35 degrees Celsius, they dehydrate and die, sometimes in minutes. That's why every truck is equipped with real-time temperature sensors, automatic ventilation, and even backup generators. A single system failure could wipe out an entire shipment. To prevent this, modern transport trucks are outfitted with real-time monitoring technology. Sensors continuously track temperature and humidity, while GPS systems allow for route adjustments to avoid extreme weather conditions. Some fleets are even equipped with backup generators to ensure uninterrupted climate control in case of mechanical failure. These innovations mean that, in many ways, a modern poultry transport truck is more sophisticated than the average passenger vehicle. But temperature isn't the only threat. Disease is an invisible enemy, and the poultry industry fights it with military-level biosecurity. Hatcheries are high-security zones where even a microscopic pathogen can wreak havoc. Before a single poult leaves the facility, strict sanitation measures take place. Transport crates are disinfected, tires are sprayed down, and drivers must often change into protective gear before entering or exiting the hatchery. Avian influenza, Newcastle disease, and salmonella are constant threats, capable of decimating entire flocks and causing ripple effects across the global food supply. A single outbreak could lead to mass cullings, trade restrictions, and millions of dollars in losses. The trucks travel along carefully planned routes, avoiding unnecessary stops to minimize exposure to contaminants. Drivers follow detailed protocols, ensuring the birds remain undisturbed. Every movement, every breath of air inside the truck is carefully controlled. The goal is simple: get the poults to their new home alive and healthy. After hours on the road, the transport trucks finally arrive at their destination, large-scale turkey farms where the poults will spend the next few months growing to market size. These aren't just open pastures with birds roaming freely. They are high-tech rearing facilities designed to replicate the optimal conditions for growth. The moment the poults are unloaded, a new phase of their journey begins. Inside massive barns, poults step onto soft, dry bedding, usually with shavings or straw, designed to absorb moisture and keep their fragile feet safe. These barns are climate-controlled, maintaining a steady 80 to 90 degrees Fahrenheit, 27 to 32 degrees Celsius, to help the poults adjust to their new environment. Unlike outdoor farming methods of the past, modern turkey barns use computerized ventilation systems that constantly adjust temperature, humidity, and air circulation. These systems prevent heat stress in the summer and cold stress in the winter, ensuring poults remain comfortable as they grow. Artificial lighting plays a crucial role, too. Poults are exposed to long periods of light in their first few days, mimicking natural daylight to encourage movement and feeding. Over time, farmers gradually adjust light cycles to optimize growth rates and reduce stress. The feeding process is just as meticulous. Poults start with high-protein feed, carefully formulated to support rapid muscle development and strengthen their immune systems. Automatic feeding systems distribute precise portions, ensuring each bird receives adequate nutrition without waste. For the next few months, these poults will transform. The tiny, fragile creatures that arrived in ventilated crates will triple in size within weeks and, by the time they reach full maturity, will weigh anywhere from 15 to 30 pounds, depending on whether they're destined for whole turkey sales or processed meat products. Every aspect of their environment, temperature, nutrition, light exposure, is engineered to optimize growth while keeping stress levels low. But even in the most controlled environments, challenges arise. Disease outbreaks, despite stringent biosecurity, still pose a risk. Farmers monitor their flocks around the clock, looking for signs of illness. Some farms use infrared cameras to detect early signs of fever in birds, allowing for immediate intervention. Others have adopted automated feeding and watering systems that track consumption patterns, alerting farmers to any sudden drops that could indicate health issues. As the turkeys grow, they require more space. Many farms operate under the all-in, all-out method, meaning entire flocks are moved together rather than mixing birds of different ages. This approach minimizes disease transmission and allows for thorough barn cleaning between flocks. It also means that, when the time comes for transportation to processing plants, thousands of birds must be moved at once, a process requiring even greater logistical precision than their initial journey. Raising turkeys is only part of the equation. The real challenge comes when fully grown birds, now weighing dozens of pounds and far more susceptible to stress, must be transported to processing facilities. Unlike poults, adult turkeys require entirely different handling methods to prevent injury and maintain meat quality. How do farmers move thousands of birds without chaos? What techniques ensure that stress levels remain low? And how do transporters prevent losses when dealing with unpredictable weather, road conditions, and mechanical failures? When it comes to moving live turkeys, every second counts. Raising turkeys is one challenge. Moving them is another. Full-grown turkeys, now weighing 15 to 30 pounds, must be transported to processing plants with extreme care. One misstep, poor handling, overcrowding, or temperature fluctuations can lead to injuries, suffocation, or even death, impacting both animal welfare and meat quality. The goal is simple: move thousands of turkeys as quickly, safely, and efficiently as possible. The catching process is controlled chaos. Thousands of full-grown turkeys flap, squawk, and scramble as workers move through the barn in dim light, keeping them calm. Unlike chickens, which can be handled by machines, turkeys must be grabbed by hand. One wrong move, and a panicked bird can break a wing or scratch a handler. The goal? Load thousands of birds as fast as possible, without injury or stress. And time is running out. Workers, trained in humane handling, move carefully in dim lighting, keeping noise to a minimum to avoid panic. Each turkey is placed into ventilated transport crates, designed for optimal space and airflow. Too much space, and they risk injury from movement. Too little, and they could overheat or suffocate. Modern farms use modular loading systems, where entire sections of stacked crates slide into the truck at once, minimizing handling time and stress. Once loaded, the real test begins. Unlike cattle or pigs, turkeys don't handle movement well. Temperature control is critical. Thousands of birds generate significant heat, and if ventilation fails, temperatures can spike, leading to fatal heat stress. To prevent this, poultry transport trucks use forced air ventilation systems, with powerful fans maintaining steady airflow. Sensors constantly monitor conditions, and some trucks have climate control systems that adjust automatically. Extreme weather remains a major challenge. In summer, heat waves can turn trucks into ovens, while in winter, freezing temperatures can cause hypothermia. Transporters adapt by adjusting travel schedules, avoiding peak heat hours in summer, and using wind-blocking tarps in winter. Every route is planned with military precision, minimizing delays, avoiding rough roads, and keeping travel times as short as possible. For long distances, transport teams use poultry corridors, highway routes optimized for livestock transport. In regions like Minnesota, North Carolina, and Indiana, where turkey production is highest, These specialized routes help trucks avoid congested areas, ensuring smoother journeys. Every extra hour on the road increases the risk of losses, making efficiency crucial. The turkey industry isn't just national, it's global. While most birds are processed domestically, some are transported alive across borders before reaching processing plants. Countries like the US, Brazil, and Poland dominate production, exporting millions of turkeys annually. For international transport, live turkey shipments must pass biosecurity inspections, where government agencies check for diseases like avian influenza. Trucks may undergo sanitation procedures, and sick birds can result in entire shipments being quarantined. Exporting live turkeys by air is rare and incredibly expensive, reserved mainly for high-value breeding stock. After hours, sometimes days, on the road, turkeys finally reach processing plants, but the unloading process must be just as precise as loading. To minimize stress, birds are guided gently into holding areas where they rest briefly before processing. This short pause allows their heart rates to stabilize, reducing the risk of panic-induced injuries. Stress management is critical, not just for humane reasons but for meat quality. Overstressed birds release excess cortisol, leading to tougher meat, discoloration, and a shorter shelf life. That's why poultry producers invest heavily in humane handling techniques, ensuring the transition from farm to processing is as smooth as possible. Live transport is only the first half of the turkey's journey. Once processed, turkeys must embark on another trip, this time in refrigerated trucks and massive cold storage warehouses. How do frozen turkeys stay fresh as they travel across oceans? What technology ensures they remain at exactly -18 degrees Celsius 0 degrees Fahrenheit for weeks or months? A live turkey's journey ends at the processing plant, but its transformation into a frozen, ready-to-cook product marks the beginning of a new odyssey, one that spans continents, climates, and months of storage. Unlike live transport, which is a race against stress, frozen turkey distribution is a battle against time and temperature. Keeping millions of birds at exactly -18 degrees Celsius 0 degrees Fahrenheit for extended periods requires cutting-edge refrigeration, cold chain logistics, and a global network of carefully coordinated shipments. Once processed, turkeys don't just get tossed into a freezer. They undergo blast freezing, a method that rapidly drops their temperature to prevent ice crystal formation. If freezing happens too slowly, cellular damage occurs, leading to a loss of moisture, texture, and flavor. To prevent this, turkeys are placed in high-velocity air chambers that circulate freezing air at speeds of up to 60 miles per hour, 100 kilometers per hour, reducing their core temperature in just a few hours. From the moment a turkey is frozen, the cold chain must remain unbroken. Any deviation from -18 degrees Celsius 0 degrees Fahrenheit risks thawing, bacterial growth, and spoilage. To prevent this, frozen turkeys are stored in massive refrigerated warehouses, sometimes holding millions of birds at once. These storage facilities operate like giant freezers, with automated stacking systems that organize and retrieve products with robotic precision. Turkeys don't just sit in storage, they move fast. From processing plants, they are loaded onto refrigerated trucks equipped with GPS-monitored cooling units that adjust temperature in real time. Some trucks even use liquid nitrogen cooling systems, which can maintain precise temperatures for long-haul trips. The cold chain is ruthless. Frozen turkeys don't just sit in freezers. They travel in high-tech reefers, refrigerated containers that maintain an exact -18 degrees Celsius 0 degrees Fahrenheit. Every shipment is monitored by sensors, tracking temperature fluctuations in real time. If one reefer fails, turkeys can start thawing within hours, spoiling an entire cargo worth millions. There's no room for error. Ships carrying frozen poultry are often routed through predetermined cold chain ports, where specialized terminals handle temperature-sensitive cargo with precision. Turkeys may travel thousands of miles, but they can't cross borders without strict inspections. Countries have different food safety regulations, requiring extensive documentation, including health certificates, temperature logs, and biosecurity clearances. If a shipment fails an inspection due to incorrect labeling, contamination risks, or temperature fluctuations, it can be rejected entirely, resulting in massive financial losses. The demand for frozen turkeys isn't just about Thanksgiving. In countries like Mexico, China, and Saudi Arabia, turkey consumption is rising, driving year-round exports. In Europe, specialty turkey products, such as organic or free-range options, have gained traction. To meet these demands, some frozen turkeys spend months in cold storage, waiting to be distributed for seasonal peaks or international trade deals. After weeks, or even months, of travel, turkeys arrive at their final destination: supermarkets, butcher shops, and food distributors. From there, they undergo one last journey into the homes of millions of families, where they are thawed, roasted, and served as the centerpiece of holiday feasts. But behind every perfectly cooked turkey lies an invisible army of farmers, truck drivers, warehouse managers, and shipping specialists, all working together to ensure that a single bird makes it from farm to table. The turkey supply chain isn't just a series of trucks, ships, and warehouses. It's a testament to human ingenuity. From climate-controlled hatcheries to GPS-tracked refrigerated containers, every stage of this journey is a balancing act of technology, timing, and logistics. From the moment a turkey hatches to the moment it's carved on the dinner table, its journey is a masterpiece of logistics, precision, and human ingenuity. Every step, from fragile poults traveling in climate-controlled trucks to full-grown birds navigating high-stakes transport, and finally, frozen turkeys crossing oceans, relies on carefully coordinated networks that span farms, highways, and shipping lanes. What seems like a simple holiday meal is, in reality, a global operation involving farmers, truck drivers, logistics experts, and cutting-edge technology. Without them, the turkey supply chain would crumble, leaving millions without their traditional feasts. Every holiday meal is more than just food. It's the final step in an extraordinary journey. Behind your turkey lies a world of farmers, truckers, engineers, and cold chain experts working in perfect sync. The next time you sit down to carve that bird, remember, it crossed highways, oceans, and time zones just to be here. And that's something worth appreciating.